Yeah, just out today. Good morning. Yeah, just out today. Good morning. I was still setting everything up. Okay, let's go over yesterday's trades in afternoon session, morning session. If we could done anything to improve ourselves. Maybe first go over the morning session. The morning session was right here. Yeah. So this was actually the morning session that we had. So these three candles, let me see it correctly, 1, 2, 3, yeah, so these three candles we have were a range. The first time we broke it was actually this one here, at 9. So if you entered on this candle, I believe stops were under that wick. My target was this high. So my target was this high here. I believe most of you got out on the retest of this wick. So to put in the notes, if we left our stops just where it was, we would have had full TP right here. Second one is a re-entry, I believe you guys took on this one. The second entry, I said stops at, when we hit that one, stops should have been here on that wick or on that wick. I'm not sure which one I said again. I believe it was this wick I said we should not come back to. It did came close, never retested it. So if we hold both of them just as we should, that would have been a clean at least 3.5, or we should have collected here on this trade. If anybody had less than an hour in these trades, we have to go over this so that we actually see what we could have proved in this one, because this is actually one of the best trades that we had already, or one of the better trades. I know somebody said that we could take it to session high even, and actually that played out just as same. That would have been a very beautiful trade. I know somebody in the chat said yesterday session high would have been great. I said here there was internal liquidity that I wanted to see get hit before actually that session high. And this was New York already when we swept that session, and then actually the news came. We took orb up to 24,000, I said again. This is actually, after that 24,000 we jumped a little bit higher. I said do take profit here. There is possible that we actually return, and we actually did. We came back in that 15-minute huge fair value gap that was here, where the stops were so actually this gap here. Before we started this orb, I said this is gonna be a risky orb because we are actually putting our stops in the center of a value gap. This would be actually where I wanted to put my stop, was under here. The reason why is there was a 5 and a 15 minutes for value gap, and actually we took TP actually at the best spot we could have. The rest of the day was just sideways chopped. Okay, these are moves where you can still trade in, but I prefer not to, because no sessions were swept, or no session high was swept anyways, and or lows, so no much entries, no entries at all really here. for today, first outlook. I'm gonna take a look if we have any news before I start. So this afternoon we have retail sales. Okay, so if you trade this afternoon, you will have some volatility. A morning session, Hong Kong GPD, this does a little bit, but not so much. And Norway is already done. That's 8 this morning, so.
Ja, doe maar. Ik ga wel komen.
Well, first look point is actually that we will definitely go higher again. We actually cleaned off this daily fair value gap completely, so no more opening, and that was actually the liquidity what we could have taken. If that news actually is very not good, we could take it all the way back to here, but I don't believe that will happen in one day. How much is this? More possibility that we go up. Yeah. We got about 3 minutes until this range is formed. We are building up some liquidity right here. Asia high is very close by. So if we do sweep Asia high and then London decides first to take out Asia low, that's definitely possible. So then all this trendline liquidity on the side will be taken with it and then actually take that move back up. Gotta be happy after 9 weeks that I actually can trade my orbs too again. Yes, I'm grateful. Looks like the crypto market is backwards. Was yesterday. Oh, halfly. Yeah, most of them are back actually at the same level where they were. So this afternoon is no trading session. Or not for me anyways. we don't have hourly for value gaps in here, and actually every time we did create one, you can see here we created one, we tapped it actually, and then it actually continued to move. So if we don't have an inside day or a sideways day, actually we could actually probably rally up to that previous day high rather quickly.
Schat, die kleine, die wil echt erbij horen nu. Met de gang.
Hey, take a look. Hey, take a look. Hey.
So that was Asia high. We have a very small range. The only thing I don't like about this range is that we have two FVGs that are not fully filled up. But the rest actually looks good. The bullish structure came back into it, stripped these for value gaps, had a continuation, stopped again on those for value gaps, and now it's actually showing us that it wants to continue higher. If we have normal market today and it just wants to continue higher, this is actually what we want to see. So we came back. Every time we come into a for value gap, we actually immediately push back off of it higher. So Asia was actually a good session to trade last night. I believe this was one of the easiest ones actually to trade that I've seen in a long time. So about 1 minute until this is a close. I do prefer to see us go a bit above actually Asia high if this closes. I would take this, but there is one where would the stop be? I believe right here. We can definitely come back halfway into it because we have a small opening here. Do we have? Oh, MQ doesn't have this. So strange to see these things. So that's a close. We did not close above Asia high, but yeah. We should take this if you are a North trader. I would take a half hour at this one. If we immediately close above that one, I would enter directly the full position. The only thing is that I don't like about this trade is that we have just two for value gaps below here. 15.1 that's not completely finished too. That's the only thing I don't like about it. This one here. The rest, this is actually where we take it to. Of course, I would say these highs here. That's a 3R from there, so it's a definitely doable trade, especially because of the structure. I do want to see how I react on these highs here. If we can get immediately clean push through it, yeah, we are definitely going to that high then here. There's no doubt about it. The only thing that could stop us is because we're still in this, as long as we don't go above that, we're still in this for value gap of the down movement. So we have two huge ones here, left side. Once we breach this, there's no value in it anymore, and we actually can have a nice continuation of it. We can see hourly are still built up, so nothing tells us that we don't have a push higher. Everything is bullish here. 4 hourly looks bullish. Same for the daily. So we're definitely trading with the major. Yeah. So the only thing I don't like is that we swept Asia high, and that there's a small value gap right here. Okay, so this is the proof why I didn't like it, maybe. Hope you entered with a half hour, like I said. If you get a clean push above, we can definitely enter full. But I did not have that clean close right here. I wanted to see actually beautiful close with a body. We actually just wick that top, so this is why. Okay, I'll probably yeah, that's gonna be our stop immediately.
Staat die nu aan?
Hm?
Is er zo'n niks artikel op aan? Waar gaat het gewoon of zo?
Ja, er is iemand in de zin waarschijnlijk. Die cliënt waarschijnlijk als ze aan het spelen. Did I hit the stop? Yeah, no. I don't think MNQ took it out, but NQ did. So if you're trading NQ, you're probably out here. I'm not sure if MNQ is out. Yeah, that's now 3 equal lows right here. They definitely will come for this. You don't see this actually. This is, yeah, liquidity has been built up here. If you have more than one contract inside, I would reduce it. I would take further off. If you're not out yet, I would take half off again. That you don't need to give too much to the market if this comes, because these are equal lows and they definitely will come for it. So that was the tap that I meant. So pre-order did not work today. Maybe if I'm lucky I get a trade today in the morning session. I do need a 15-minute change, so I need a 15-minute that closes below here. So log this trade too, that would have been minus a half hour. Maybe a little bit less. I told you to reduce a bit. That was actually too strong push down. But the main reason because I said to reduce, because they just created equal lows. So equal lows always come, they always come after it. I believe MNQ was a bit later. I see it on the screen beside me. If you didn't take a profit today, or if you took my not profit today, be done for it maybe. It's Friday, so don't give too much to the market if it's not needed. This week should be a green week for everybody. So I'll go over again why I actually said a half hour. The reason why is because, look, after we swap that session, I actually want to see that full body above it. So that indicates we have a bit more chance. The second reason was I had a gap right here, and they intend to fill it up. Third reason was we actually have a 15-minute value gap here that was not completely filled. So those were three indicators that I said why we should have reduced risk immediately. And those hold so much value because if you have small profits, the profits that we do take actually immediately get you back in profit. We'll sit here for the next, well, at least to 9 and a quarter. We'll see if I can get into anything else. But I have the chance to take a trade for myself for once. I believe London will show me that more than pre-session. Yeah, I got back from the bathroom. I was need to go for a second.
Ja, nog.
Oh, I was reading some news, looking at it, economical news, anyways. Japan just said, "I'm not seeing any positive. I am seeing no positive economic impact from the US." Positief gezegd dit? It looks like the market is building up liquidity, so keep your hands off of it at the moment. And actually, it looks like there's nobody has even at the screens. Okay, there is some movement in the market. So these highs will be taken very shortly. I want to see if we do have that reaction back down, yes or no. The only thing we could have done differently on this pre-session order was actually put our stop at the last liquidity sweep. That was actually this one. The reason was because we were actually inside a 15-minute FEG, and sometimes it happens we go straight up, but sometimes not. So I knew immediately to only risk a half hour just because of that. So if you prefer to keep it a bit safer and you have the capacity to put your stops at that low here, that's even better. So then what's the best stop then? The last 15 minutes liquidity sweep, so from for value gaps before we actually have that continuation. So that was actually here. The only thing is your stop should have been a bit bigger then, so how much do you have then? A 21 point stop would have been, so it's definitely doable.
Ja, het ziet er al veel beter uit. Misschien ook iets meepakken ja, voor water. Dat zou kunnen zijn.
Een badpak of zo?
Ja.
Neem ik mijn eigen handdoek mee?
Handdoek zal niet nodig zijn.
Tickets uitverkocht.
Looks like the market is very, very relaxing today. We're here for about 40 minutes and we haven't moved. We haven't moved 6 points. So if we see a market like this, it's better to keep our hands off. I'll be patient until 9 opens. Let's see what London brings.
Ik kan misschien een sapje drinken. Dan ga je energie krijgen.
Yeah, so if you trade orb, you can actually be liquidity yourself too. So what can you do, like I said, Anthony, is if you want to prevent, to put your stop inside. If you have the range, this was the last liquidity grab. So if you wanted to prevent yourself from early being stopped out, you could have put your stop right here. If the market wants to continue higher, this should not be tapped. That's the same thing why in pre-London we can do this. If you have candles like this, and London and New York itself, that's not possible even to put it right down to here. That would have been a 79, and with the breach itself, a 100-point stop directly to that low. Not sure the market will go higher at this point. It still looks like it wants to maybe take out this trend line liquidity. We swept Asia high, so there is a possibility that we actually now take Asia low, and that it needs this sell side liquidity with trend line liquidity to push the market to buy side liquidity again. So yeah, I'm speaking. Do you hear me? You should normally be able to hear me. I hope so. Okay. So if you entered with a half hour, like I suggested, and the market does decide to go above that high, you can probably try that one more time. If that is in your note that you are able to do it. But the market is rather slow today, I must say. It actually, yeah, look, we've been here for 40 minutes and we moved 13 points. Now we did sweep that liquidity once, so we came back, we swept twice the upside, so normally if the market wants to continue, it should do it right here. This is why I'm learning you guys to see liquidities, so afterwards you will actually see them, and then once you get into the pre-orb sessions and you see the market do these things, you will actually be preventing yourself from putting a stop there. You would actually automatically do it like this. I'm creating a habit first of all with you all, so making sure that you are able to take it. Afterwards I'll make sure that you see all the rest. My plans are built up step by step, so I make sure that you actually will get there. but it takes a bit of time. I cannot teach you everything in 1 or 2 lessons. I think you guys would have a headache. 5 year information giving you in about 2 lessons, that would be something.
De tweede naam is Spin.
Or you can be patient until London's Open starts. Or you can have another test at this one for a half hour. Best way to put your stop is still at low here, because it's still not completely filled up, this one. We still have a 5 minutes still left in it. The market is actually very slow moving. It does show us it wants to go higher, but with not much strength anyways.
Spin, tweede. Wat is er geholpen?
Yeah, we will see what the market brings. So personally, if I would have traded Europe, I would give this one more try, because I only gave a half hour.
Omdat hij eentje
That's my way of trading.
Omdat we hier zijn.
But then I do want to see a strong push in this next 15 minutes. Okay, we're about 2 minutes in and we did move in up into. So there is no volume at this point in the market. So if you don't see volume, we don't have a continuation movement. We actually have then a sideways movement starting to build up liquidity again before we have a continuation. Morning, Carl. Our pre-order did not work today, so this is actually not a model. I'm just showing if you wanted to prevent yourself, if this was actually pre-orb. So if pre-orb is only 6 points left, so how big was this? This was about 9 points. And if there is a 15-minute fair value gap just below yourself, and you can, you do have enough, if your stop is wide enough, if you can take it to previous liquidity that's been taken, so that would have been 21 point stop actually, this is doable. So if you have even $100 for contracts, you could still have $2.5, $40, so 2 contracts, maybe, yeah, maybe 3 contracts you could put it here, and you would prevent if you got stopped out immediately on this wick down. I was explaining, I seen it immediately. This is why I asked you to put a half hour inside, and the next half hour when we should have breached here, that high. Actually, this is just trading continuation. So if we trade continuation, we actually wait. It's the same like adding. So continuation is actually like adding. So what is adding? Adding is once we have a push up, we create for value gaps in a 15 minutes or a 5. We have a tap, we enter on a tap, and we put our stop at that low. So actually, this would be the trade. What do we target? Next highs. This is trading continuation. And that's also how we add. So once we create a new fair value gap and we have continuation to the upper side, we actually add to that again. You would put your stops here anyways. You can also trade it once we get above that high. So once we actually clean that high out, you could have entered right here too. Your stop should be then at that wicks and then continue higher. Not sure if anybody jumped back into it. I said it was possible. I would have definitely done it. Especially because I only would give it an half hour. I would definitely try it one more time. See what it brings. Even though it's 10 minutes before open, I wouldn't care. It took about more than 15 minutes before we stepped into a new trade. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4 candles. So that was 20 minutes patience that we had. We came into liquidity, we had a continuation movement, so it still looks like one's go higher. But very, very relaxing higher. Oh, anytime. The reason why I still would have put my stop here instead of here is because we still have like one fair value gap of 5 left here. We do have one here too, but in the hourly we don't, and hourlies are stronger, of course. So we had that sweep here, we had a push, and then we had a smaller sweep again, and then a push again. So if you did take this, yeah, you can always take it to at least here, so 1.2, maybe all the way to the highs. Most of you put into your notes that you actually had 2 hours that you could give to the market, so do at least. This is not revenge trading or anything like this. This is actually seeing the market still doing what we thought it would do. So not changing a plan, not changing anything. We just jumped in a second time because we prevented ourselves. And we just saw now that continuation, what we actually wanted to see earlier. So there's a big difference in immediately jumping back into a trade or just having patience until the market decides to show you it actually still wants to do that continuation. That's a big difference. So you did not see me say, yeah, jump in right here and yeah, we continue guys. No, I had patience, so 15. That was a half hour to 15 minutes doing nothing. And then I saw, okay, we can jump back in. So now we cleaned off that high here really, so now hold this leg down here has no value anymore. So we will continue higher now. Just because we took that wick.
Hey, okay.
Speciaal is het. Ja, we kijken waar dat ding in naartoe gaat. Het venster. Jongens.
Oh ja. Dat is plezant, hè? Dus de grote mannen.
I'll give it a bit of time if you did enter again. I want to see Nice, clean movement further up. So we all see the structure, right? So we had sideways movement constantly, slowly moving upwards. We came every time into for value gaps, and we actually constantly had that continuation move. So I hope you guys actually jump back in this. This will also give you more confidence in actually giving it an extra try. Doesn't mean that we always have to do this, but if the market shows you and you actually feel, like Anthony said, we were liquidity and then the market moves, will go up higher. Yeah, so we didn't jump in immediately, but if we have a little bit of patience and then jump back in, you can, people. So it's not because one trade didn't work that your full idea was not correctly. So because if we do get this and we only entered like a half hour, and we can add maybe to this trade, we can still make a nice decent profit. Yeah, okay. Vakul, I will explain why I prefer the 15 minute over the 1 minute. It's actually mindset related. So I can handle it, but sometimes look, backtesting is very different than front testing. So I'll leave this trade for a second. I'll go to a session where we can see it. What I mean by this. Where was that one that I actually tried it a few times? I believe it was here. So I'll go over that 1 minute, I'll go over that other one too. Well, which day was this? It was yesterday, the 14th. Let's go a bit to the sideways. So okay. So we swept here, session high. So what does the model say? Once we sweep, we need for value gap to enter and then short. Okay, great. That was our first for value gap. We tapped it and we immediately got stopped. It was one. Then we have to be patient and see if we got a new change in delivery. So the reason why this one was great is because here we had a change in structure fully, and we actually came immediately back up, so no trade. Here we did not have that structure change, so that was okay. This one we had it again, so that was number 2. Let's see here. We had again change the structure. Okay, great. Anything that taps this for value gap right here, we could have entered. And what did we do? We got stopped again here. That was 2. Next, came back up. Okay, great. Here we did not break structure. So the third time, once we did see that sweep again, there was a value gap right here. We did get that tap then. And then it was good. But will you be able to take 1, 2, maybe 3 times you entered, and then the 4th time still enter it? If we watch this on a 15 minute, what was that drawing? Yeah, right here. We don't have a change in delivery. We don't have a change. Here was that 1 minute entry. We did have that change right here. So we need to find 5 minutes for value gap in this then. Do we have one? Not even sure that we have. Yeah, we had a small one right here. So this would have been that for value gap. That would have been the tap of it. That would be the stop. So one time a trade that you have to take. So that would have been. We would have gotten stopped out here too. So we got 2 times stopped out. The 1 minute here would have worked probably because you didn't really take it all the way down. But this is one stop. Okay, great. Next session. When do we have that change? Right here. Do we have a 15? So this is 15 minutes. Again 15. Down. Okay, probably wouldn't even get an entry here. You just trade a lot less, so you have to have less trading, but you have more accuracy. So that means that you actually have more percentage chance to have a good trade. If you are able to set your mind to every time to take it without doubts, without no hesitation, with nothing at all, that would have been, and you have actually the perfect mindset to trade. But if you will take it 2 times and a 3rd time say, okay, this one maybe will not go correctly again, then this is not the model that you can take. Look, that would have been a 4 hour, so good trade, perfectly swept back to the low, so very clean trade with the 1 minute. But you had 1, 2 times, not the 3rd time it went great, so you still collected 4 out of 2, so that means 2.3 are you made. The reason why is strictly mindset, because it's not easy to actually endure constantly the same not profits over and over again and still be able to take it. So the same for this one actually. This one did not go correctly the first time, and if you put in a half hour now again, so that means that you are now at a full hour risk for today. If this trade again goes not correctly, the next time you still need to take it. So it's strictly mindset. If you have the guts and you have a good mindset that you are always able to take it without any hesitation, so with actually full confidence, you can take it perfectly. It's a very good strategy, it works. You just have to have a very strong mindset. And don't jump in any movement that you wouldn't do it and backtesting too. Because this actually, before you had that entry, took 3.5 hours after your first entry. So this is some screen time too, because you have to be here until that correct entry comes. It is, and it works perfectly. Don't get me wrong. But it's just really strictly mindset. So if you are able to reduce the amount of times you need to enter, look, this week I had 1 trade or 2 trades maximum that I took. I took one on a 1 minute and I had 1 15 minutes. That's it. And the rest of the week I did not have even an entry. So I've been sitting here yesterday, no trade. Today, no trade. Probably no trade anyways. But if you have the best mindset and you can say, okay, I can reduce myself, I can restrain myself, I have full control over everything that I do, yeah, that's a perfect setup for you then. I used to love to trade the 1 minute. It's very fast and it goes everywhere. I prefer the 15 minute to trade with. It's more relaxing too, so it gives my mind more to ease, so it doesn't go everywhere. So I just want to keep it calm, strictly, without letting it tell me anything. And the 15 minutes doesn't give me any feelings. So it's actually personal for me. I felt something when I was trading that 1 minute again. that I haven't felt for a very long time, and I don't want to have that feeling again. And I know what it was, so I recognized it and I just said, this is something I cannot do live, or may not do live. So I can give you strategies, but you have to actually feel for yourself if it's something for you. If you love the 1 minute and you can actually be full control over everything you do, please take it. It's a good strategy, but you have to take all of them. So you cannot take 6 not profits and then the 7th goes to a 20R, something like that, and you haven't taken that one. You will not feel comfortable that day. And you will have to be okay with it too. So it has nothing to do by what it does, it's just really strict mindset. That's all. This is why lesson 1 was mindset. It's the most important thing. So yesterday somebody told me, not sure who it was anymore, that they were not able to keep an account because if they had a bigger not profit, 2 of them, that they would start immediately trading again. If that is also something you have, so by giving something to the market that you would immediately want to get it back, don't trade the 1 minute. Learn to trade the 15 first, then the 5 maybe, and once you are very good at letting go of everything, then go to the 1 minute. Because the 1 minute is, your mind goes everywhere. Look, if this was the 1 minute, this went up and down already, went everywhere, bit to the red, bit back. This would give you strange feelings. But if you don't watch that, and you just watch the 15, well, nothing happened here in the 15 minutes. I hope you guys jump back in this trade. I really hope so. I said I would have then definitely. Yeah, my target if this one keeps going is definitely all-time high. Oh, previous day high, sorry. So I want to make from you guys consistent traders and following strict plans and rules. The reason why this is actually the only way we can become profitable. And you have to be able to also, if you give something to the market, to be okay with it. And this is something most traders are not easy learned. But once you have that too, oh yeah, you will definitely get there. So I'm about 100% sure that this will be no trading day for me. If you re-entered with a half hour and the next orb of London shows that it wants to go to upsides, we can actually add to that position then. We still have about 5-7 minutes before we have the orb range. And orb is actually opening breakout range, or range breakout. So this should actually be pre-orb before opening. That's a very good question, Harjot. This is actually a very nice setup. The reason why I'm not in it, because I can only trade one model for the next. Still 9 weeks to go. So I asked all of the people that are in the bootcamp to do one model strictly, and don't jump into anything else. And I am actually doing the same at this point until those lessons are over. Then I will show you my full capacity and how I can trade. So I ask somebody to do something, and it would be very silly for myself to do something different than they are actually doing. This is why. And I promised them I would not do it. So I gave my word, and if I give my word, I have to do it. Otherwise, Otherwise I better just wouldn't say nothing at all. So I have not been trading continuations. I have not been trading orb this month. I have only been trading 1 or 15 minute change in deliveries after a sweep of session. That's the only thing I've been trading this month, and I'm on 8R this month. Should have been at least 20 at least. What we made. I believe I'm on 8.8 this month. So I took some not profits, but some profits that were very big too. So now yesterday was no trading day for me. I believe today not either. Because I'm only here in London session, and if London decides to continue higher, yeah. I'm not here in New York today. I'm going out dancing with the family. I hope she didn't hear that. She didn't hear.
She's doing the dishes.
Okay, nice. Yeah, my daughter still doesn't know where we're going, so.
Hey kleintje.
Wat is er meer? Wat Didi? Wil je gaan?
Oké.
Zie je hem nog? Loopt hij daar nog? Ja.
Oké. Waar ben je? Hallo.
So we still have an untapped value gap right here. Some gaps, so market can still continue. I would prefer to see that 15 minute to close higher at low, of course. You can see actually that the market is still building up liquidity on both sides. It's just this chopping around, so orb range does need continuation movement.
zitten daar allemaal?
What?
Aan de garage? Nummer 3?
I'll be back in a second. I need to go to the bathroom again. Oh, my kakko is working very hard. Okay, I'm back. So we now actually tapped the 5-minute for value gap. Was actually good. Right here. That was a tap of the 5-minute for value gap. So if we have a continuation to the upside again, and we can close above the high, we actually then have an adding position that we could take, and that would look something like this. That wasn't my leg, my friend. Yes, I like you. Yeah, my cat jumped on my legs and I have a short on, so his nails are still, he still learns to use them. And he is very active again. I'm very happy that I went to the vet with him. Now I'm not so into hospitals or anything, but they do fix instant healing. So what I mean by that, I like the way they instantly heal you. They just don't solve the problem. So this one actually needed instant healing.
Nou, die zie je het misschien ook. Want toen het gedaan, pipetje.
Nou ja, Anja speet dat hij had. Dus die, ja, ik weet niet voor wat het was, toch voor tegen zijn gezond, of voor zijn gezondheid. En die was de direct weer deur. So if you close above here, we can definitely put a stop here then, so there's no more coming back to that gap. We do need to close above that high, of course. So I'll make it till 9:30. I'll stay online till 9:30 and then I'll give it my day. Today is strictly for the family. I did do the the New York's the pre-session. I said I would. Afraid. He's very active now. Okay, if London decides to take work to the downside and you're in with a half hour, I would reduce again a little bit. If you can. And then let the stop do its thing. So it's still only 1 hour at least that we had given to the market, so that's very normal. Good money management. The second one I would have taken any time. That was actually a very clear movement back to the high, so we swept one high, that's it. So in the hourly, if you watch this in an hourly, we actually just came back, touched wicks. So in the next 30 minutes, if this comes back blue and or green, you can see it like you want to, and goes back up, well, it's like a very good trade still. And our stops are actually way down here, so our stop is actually at the perfect spot. Where if the market decides to go close below that wick from that 1 hour previous hour, we probably go back all the way, but that's still about 19 points, and the market hasn't moved 19 points in the last 40 minutes, 1 hour even.
Heb je het ook gehoord?
So everything in this structure actually still looks bullish, so there's no reason for us to come down. It looks like this one will be at least for the rest of the morning session. At this speed, you can be here until noon before we hit that high. So once I get off the charts, I would do the same. Just let your stop do its thing. I would not especially add to it if not needed. We just see if it hits TP. That's a good actually exercise to do for letting go of a trade. So that means just close the books and see if it hits your TP or your stop. You know, once I was streaming in playbit, I was doing this actually for 40 days. Not moving stops. That also helps you to... Oh, thank you, Harry Jot. Harry Jot, for giving me a great weekend with family. Appreciate that a lot. So, we trade to make money, but we trade actually for freedom, so that we actually have more time to spend and do the things we love. So you actually have to do them too then. Because trading can get you so focused every time. We forget actually that we still have fun trading. Well, I actually did not remember that sometimes when I was trading, that I was actually doing it with love, because I like trading very much, and actually I do love it, have fun with it, but because I was so focused on the charts, I actually did not remember to have fun while doing it and to enjoy the process of it. Because if we want to do this for 40 years or longer, so I still have more than 40 years to live at least, so I'll be doing this for the next 40 years. So you can just as well enjoy it. Again, so if we close above that high, that's the adding spot. So this would be adding. And stop would be then the last wick of that 5 minutes.
Zijn bak ligt er deze keer niet. Hé, dat stond er toch? Is goed. Ligt er een beetje zand.
So still, the reason why I put your stop right here is still because we had some fair value gaps left here. We can perfectly come tap them and then continue. But win or not win, I would not take another trade after this. So I give it 3 more minutes, and I'll be offline then. So, like I said, first adding spot would be here. Stops would be then the last wick slow from who tapped that 5 minute for value gap right here, and then continue higher. Target previous day high, or maybe that wick can be a target too. It depends on how comfortable you still feel. This would be 1.25 with adding, so that would be maybe 1.6. But this is actually a very, very, very relaxing market. We have moved almost 20 points, people, in an hour and a half. So I believe the market is actually being patient for the news this afternoon. So If we do come down, don't touch it again. So if anybody has some questions, you can ask them now, or otherwise I'll go off and prepare myself to depart here in about 30 minutes. If you did jump in again, just let the trade do its thing. It will be stop or winning, so it will be not winning or winning. And be okay with it. Remember, we had 2 trades, both of them looked good. The only first one actually we could have reduced for stop to get stopped out actually. But still, the setup came, we followed the plan, we did what we should be doing, so that's just actually a good trade. So actually yesterday I found it very nice to hear somebody say this. I was actually laughing at it too, and the person said, I had a good trade today, to a friend. And he said, oh, how much did you make? I gave $500 to the market. How can you explain to a person that you actually have a good trading day while not getting profits? So it's just because we follow a plan, and the outcome in the big run will be good, but until it is, you just have to be happy with what we do. So this is actually having a good trade, following your own plan. That's the definition of having a good trade. If you can't follow a plan, you have to learn that first before you actually build up the skill further. Learn to follow it. If you can, for 50 trades or more, you'll be a profitable trader. It's very easy, but you have to be patient and always take it. Okay, by that I will end it. I wish you all a very great weekend too, and see you back on Mondays, of course.